If you truly wish to master your 24 hours, the very first law you must understand is this time bends itself to a definite purpose. Without a purpose, your day will dissolve into fragments, a little of this, a little of that, until the night arrives and you wonder where the hours went. But when you rise in the morning with a clear objective burning in your mind, every minute becomes a servant of your will. Picture a river with no banks. It spreads everywhere, shallow and powerless. But when you give that river a channel, it becomes mighty enough to turn wheels, light cities, and carve valleys into mountains. Your 24 hours work the same way. Without direction, they're scattered. With purpose, they become unstoppable. The tragedy of most lives is not that people lack time, but that they lack focus. They wake up with no definite aim, no reason strong enough to command their hours. So they drift. They spend their precious minutes scrolling through distractions, arguing over trivial matters, or waiting for something to happen. By the end of the day, they have been busy, but have accomplished nothing. Now imagine another kind of person. This one wakes up with a written plan, a vision clearly etched into the mind. From the very first moment, the day obeys him. His conversations are purposeful, his actions aligned, his energy channeled. This person finishes the day not exhausted from chaos, but fulfilled by progress. The difference between the two: one has a purpose, the other has none. So how do you begin with purpose? You must first answer the most important question of all: what is it I truly want? Not what society expects, not what others demand, but what burns inside you with urgency. Define it. Write it down. A vague desire produces vague results. A definite desire produces definite outcomes. If you aim at nothing, you will hit it every single time. Once you have clarity, break that grand purpose into daily missions. Ask yourself each morning, what 3 things must I achieve today that will move me closer to my ultimate vision? This practice transforms ordinary days into stepping stones of destiny. It removes guesswork and gives you a compass. Purpose does something else as well. It multiplies your energy. Think about the times you were truly passionate about something. Didn't you notice how quickly time flew, how obstacles seemed smaller, how fatigue took longer to catch you? That is the power of purpose. It fuels persistence, it sharpens concentration, and it lifts you above discouragement. Without purpose, your 24 hours are at the mercy of circumstance. With purpose, you become the master of circumstance. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. Instead of asking, what will happen to me today? You begin declaring, this is what I will make happen today. That single shift turns a weekday into a powerful one. But beware, purpose must be specific. Saying, I want to be successful is not a purpose, it is a wish. A real purpose is detailed, measurable, and time-bound. For example, I will complete 3 chapters of my book this week. I will make 5 new business calls today. Specificity transforms dreams into orders that your mind can execute. And let me give you one final truth. Purpose attracts opportunity. When people see a man or woman driven by clarity, they respect it, they align with it, and they are drawn to it. The world steps aside for the one who knows exactly where they are going. So I tell you this, if you want to use your 24 hours in the right way, begin with a clear purpose. Without it, your hours are like seeds scattered on barren soil. With it, your hours are like seeds planted in rich earth, destined to bear fruit. When you rise tomorrow morning, do not rise aimlessly. Rise with a reason. Rise with a purpose so strong it pulls you forward, so clear it cannot be ignored, and so definite that every hour of your day becomes a soldier in service of your destiny. The first hour of your day is the seed from which the rest of the 24 hours will grow. If the seed is weak, the harvest will be poor. If the seed is strong, the harvest will be abundant. Too many people allow the very first moments of their day to be stolen, wasted, or poisoned, and then they wonder why the rest of their day feels scattered, heavy, and unproductive. But the wise man, the disciplined woman, knows that the first hour is sacred. Ask yourself, what do most people do when they wake up? They reach for their phones. They scroll endlessly, filling their minds with noise, comparison, and distraction. Within minutes, their focus is hijacked by the agendas of others: emails, messages, gossip, news, and trivial updates. By the time they rise from bed, they are already behind, already reactive, already drained. They have surrendered control of their day before it even began. Now imagine a different beginning. Imagine opening your eyes with gratitude, standing with determination, and devoting your first hour not to the outside world, but to your inner world. Imagine starting the day by feeding your mind with ideas, your body with energy, and your spirit with calm. The one who controls the first hour commands the remaining 23. So how do you control this hour? You must design it with intention. Create a ritual that strengthens your mind, your body, and your vision. First, guard your thoughts. In the silence of the morning, before the world intrudes, your mind is open and fertile. Feed it with affirmations, uplifting words, or visions of your future. Write down your goals. Visualize yourself achieving them. This simple act turns your subconscious into a loyal servant, working for you all day long. Second, move your body. Energy is the currency of achievement, and the body is the engine that carries the mind. Even 10 or 15 minutes of exercise, stretching, walking, breathing deeply, ignites the flame of vitality. A strong body awakens a sharp mind. Third, plan with precision. Do not drift into the day with vague intentions. Take a few minutes to write your priorities. Decide what matters most and put it first. A day planned is a day conquered before it even begins. A day unplanned is like a ship without a captain, tossed by every wind of circumstance. Now, let me warn you at first, this practice will not be easy. Habits of distraction will call you. Your phone will tempt you. Your comfort will whisper, just 5 more minutes of sleep. But remember this truth: comfort is the thief of greatness. You must train your willpower to guard that first hour as though your destiny depends on it, because it does. Why? Because momentum is powerful. Once your day begins with clarity, focus, and energy, it tends to stay that way. On the other hand, if you start your day with laziness, disorder, or distraction, it is incredibly hard to recover. You are like a runner who stumbles at the starting line. The whole race becomes a struggle. Think of some of the greatest achievements in history. They were not the result of chaotic mornings or reactive habits. They were born out of discipline, out of men and women who understood the value of controlling their minds before the world could control them. Remember this: the world belongs to the person who masters the morning. While others sleep, he prepares. While others waste, she invests. By the time the crowd begins to move, the disciplined one has already set the direction of his life. So tomorrow morning, when you rise, make a choice. Will you allow the world to dictate your mood, your focus, and your energy? Or will you seize the first hour and command your day? If you control the first hour, you will discover that you are no longer chasing time. Time itself will begin to serve you. Your 24 hours will no longer slip through your fingers. They will bend, they will obey, and they will multiply in value. Yes, the first hour is sacred. Guard it with your life, and it will give you back your life. There is a secret about time that few people understand. Time, when scattered, has no strength, but when concentrated, it becomes unstoppable. Just as the sun's rays can warm your skin, but only a magnifying glass can ignite a fire, your hours, when unfocused, warm nothing. But when you concentrate them into blocks of deep focus, you ignite progress, you spark achievement, and you set your life ablaze with results. Most people move through their 24 hours as wanderers. They jump from one task to another, answering calls, checking messages, half working on one thing, half worrying about another. By the end of the day, they are exhausted yet strangely empty. Why? Because their energy was divided, their attention diluted, and their hours wasted on fragments. The successful person lives differently. He understands that a single concentrated hour of deep focus produces more than 10 scattered hours of distraction. He treats his hours like currency, investing them where they bring the highest return. She divides her day into blocks, sacred spaces of time devoted to one purpose only. When she is working fully. When she is learning deeply. When she is resting without guilt. This is the art of time blocking, and it is one of the greatest tools for using your 24 hours in the right way. How do you practice it? Begin by identifying your most important tasks. Not everything matters equally. Some activities move you forward, while others only make you feel busy. Choose the few tasks that bring the greatest reward and give them a block of undivided attention. During this block, eliminate all interruptions. No phone. No distractions. No excuses. Create a bubble of silence where only the task exists. When you live this way, something magical happens. Your productivity multiplies. What used to take you 3 hours of distracted effort now takes 1. And more than that, you discover a deep satisfaction in your work. Focus is not just efficient, it is fulfilling. It turns labor into craftsmanship and effort into excellence. But your day cannot be only about work. That is why blocks matter. Set aside blocks for learning, for rest, for family, for health. When you design your day in this way, you no longer feel torn between duties. Each part of your life receives its time, and you give yourself fully to it. You are no longer working while half thinking of family, nor with family while half worrying about work. You live in the present block, fully engaged. Let me give you an image. Imagine your day as a garden. If you scatter seeds randomly, few will grow. But if you plant them in rows with care and order, the garden flourishes. Your hours are the seeds. If you scatter them, nothing much happens. If you arrange them into blocks of focus, your life becomes a garden of abundance. Of course, this requires discipline. The world will try to invade your blocks. People will demand your attention, distractions will tempt you, emergencies will knock at your door. You must be firm. Say to yourself, this hour belongs to this task, and nothing else. Treat your blocks as unbreakable appointments with your own destiny. And here is the greatest reward. When you live in focused blocks, you discover that 24 hours are more than enough. You stop wishing for more time. You stop envying others who seem to get more done. You realize the problem was never the shortage of hours, but the misuse of them. So I urge you, stop scattering your time. Stop living in fragments. Break your hours into blocks of focus and devote yourself to each with full attention. When you work, work like a master. When you rest, rest like a child. When you learn, learn like a scholar. When you love, love without distraction. Do this, and your 24 hours will transform from a blur of business into a symphony of achievement. Your 24 hours are priceless, yet most people give them away as if they were worthless. They trade their minutes for gossip, their hours for meaningless distractions, and their days for habits that lead nowhere. And then they complain, I don't have enough time. The truth is not that they lack time. The truth is that their time has been stolen. But let me tell you this, no one can steal your hours unless you leave the door wide open. The thieves of time are clever, but they only succeed when you invite them in. If you want to use your 24 hours in the right way, you must learn to recognize these thieves, confront them, and eliminate them without mercy. What are the greatest time thieves? First, distraction. Every beep, every notification, every unnecessary scroll steals not just a few seconds, but your focus, your energy, and your rhythm. You tell yourself, I'll just check for a minute, and suddenly half an hour is gone. The thief has struck. Second, idle talk and gossip. Countless hours are wasted in conversations that add nothing to your life. Words are powerful when used to inspire, to plan, to connect. But gossip is poison. It consumes your time, weakens your spirit, and builds nothing. Third, procrastination. This is the most dangerous thief of all because it disguises itself as comfort. It whispers, do it tomorrow. You deserve a rest. There's still plenty of time. But tomorrow never comes. Procrastination has robbed more dreams than failure ever will. Fourth, aimless entertainment. Rest and recreation are necessary, but endless consumption of shallow amusement is not rest. It is escape. It steals your hours while giving you nothing in return but regret. Now, how do you eliminate these thieves? You must become the guardian of your hours. Imagine your 24 hours as gold coins. Would you let strangers walk into your home and carry them away? No. Yet, when you give your time to distractions, gossip, procrastination, and meaningless habits, That is exactly what you do. Here are 3 laws to protect your time. Set boundaries. Decide in advance where your hours will go, and do not let others decide for you. Learn to say no, not with anger, but with firmness. Every yes to a distraction is a no to your destiny. Create systems. Turn off notifications during work blocks. Schedule your social time instead of drifting into it. Use tools like lists, calendars, and alarms to stay aligned with your priorities. A system protects you when willpower is weak. Raise your standards. Ask yourself with every activity, does this serve my purpose? Does this bring me closer to my vision, or does it steal from it? If it does not serve you, cut it out. Ruthlessness toward time thieves is kindness toward your future. Let me give you an image. Picture your day as a great banquet hall with 24 golden seats. Each seat is reserved for an activity, a person, or a purpose. Who will you allow to sit there? Will you invite gossip, distraction, and laziness to feast at your table? Or will you invite focus, learning, creation, love, and rest? The choice is yours. When you begin to eliminate time thieves, you feel a new strength rising within you. Suddenly, you have more energy, more clarity, more progress. You are no longer scattered. You are no longer drained by things that do not matter. You become powerful because your hours are no longer stolen. They are invested. Remember this, every time thief you eliminate is an hour reclaimed, an opportunity regained, a piece of your future restored. So guard your hours like a treasure. Protect them with discipline. Defend them with courage. Because once they are gone, they can never be returned. The way you end your day is just as important as the way you begin it. Most people collapse into bed after a long, chaotic day without a thought of what they did, what they failed to do, or what they must improve tomorrow. They carry their unfinished tasks, their regrets, and their wasted hours into their sleep, and then they wonder why their mornings feel heavy and their lives feel stagnant. But the wise person understands that the end of the day is a sacred checkpoint, a moment for reflection and renewal. Think of life as a book. Each day is a page. Would you close a book without finishing the page? Would you leave sentences hanging, thoughts incomplete? No. Yet that is exactly what most people do with their days. They end them carelessly, without review, without closure, without gratitude. But if you want to use your 24 hours in the right way, you must close each day deliberately, with intention. How do you do this? Begin with reflection. Set aside 10 to 15 minutes at the end of the day to look back with honesty. Ask yourself, what did I accomplish today? Did I honor my priorities or did I betray them? Did I use my time with purpose or did I allow time thieves to rob me? Write the answers in a journal. Do not lie to yourself. Do not excuse yourself. Be truthful, for truth is the mirror in which progress is seen. Reflection is powerful because it turns experience into wisdom. Without reflection, you repeat the same mistakes again and again. With reflection, each day becomes a teacher, and every mistake becomes a lesson. You no longer live 365 days of repetition. You live one day, learn 365 different ways. That is growth. Next, after reflection, comes gratitude. No matter how challenging your day was, find reasons to give thanks. Gratitude is not just a virtue. It is energy. It lifts the mind above worry. It heals the heart from discouragement, and it sharpens your awareness of blessings often overlooked. When you end your day with gratitude, you reprogram your mind to see abundance instead of lack. And the mind that sees abundance attracts more of it. Finally, after reflection and gratitude, comes renewal. Renewal means rest, and rest is not weakness. Rest is fuel. Too many people boast of burning the candle at both ends, but they forget that a candle that burns too fast soon burns out completely. Fatigue destroys focus, poisons decision-making, and robs creativity. To deny yourself proper rest is to sabotage tomorrow before it even begins. True renewal is not just sleep, but peaceful sleep. Do not end your day with noise, with worry, or with screens that clutter the mind. End it with calm. Read something uplifting. Breathe deeply. Visualize tomorrow's victories. Prepare your mind for success even as you close your eyes. Let me give you this truth: the day well closed is a bridge to a day well begun. When you end your day with reflection, gratitude, and renewal, you awaken lighter, clearer, and stronger. You rise not with the weight of yesterday, but with the fire of tomorrow. So tonight, when the clock winds down and you prepare to rest, remember this: your day is not truly finished until you review it, give thanks for it, and release it. Do not carry today's chaos into tomorrow's sunrise. Lay it down, learn from it, be grateful for it. Then renew yourself with deep rest. When you practice this habit, you discover that life is not a blur of endless days merging into each other. It becomes a series of complete, meaningful, purposeful pages, each one closed with dignity and each one leading to the next with power. Yes, the way you end your day shapes the way you live your life. Reflect, be grateful, renew, and you will transform not only your nights, but your entire destiny. My friends, we have walked together through the golden path of the day, from its first hour to its last. We have seen how purpose gives direction, how the first hour sets the tone, how focus blocks create momentum, how thieves must be cast out, and how reflection and renewal close the day with strength. But now I ask you, what will you do with this knowledge? For knowledge without action is powerless. Time without purpose is wasted. Every one of us is given the same 24 hours. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail lies not in luck, not in talent, not in circumstance, but in how they use their hours. The truth is simple: if you master a day, you master a life. You do not need to conquer years ahead. You need only to conquer the 24 hours you have been given today. Success is nothing more than a series of well-lived days stacked together. So tomorrow, when you rise, do not rise as you did yesterday. Rise with a purpose so clear that distractions cannot confuse you. Guard your first hour with the discipline of a warrior. Break your day into blocks of deep focus and give each one the fullness of your attention. Drive out the thieves that would dare to steal your time. And when night falls, reflect, give thanks, and renew yourself for tomorrow's victories. If you do this, a remarkable change will occur. You will discover that you are no longer running out of time. You are no longer chasing hours that slip through your fingers. Instead, time itself will serve you. Your days will no longer blur into meaningless repetition. They will become stepping stones, each one carrying you closer to the summit of your destiny. I tell you this: the difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one is how you spend your hours. Waste them, and your life will be wasted. Guard them, invest them, and your life will shine with purpose and power. So take charge of your 24 hours. They are not just minutes ticking on a clock. They are the building blocks of your legacy. They are the currency of your dreams. They are the bridge between who you are and who you are destined to become. And remember, no one else will live your hours for you. No one else will fight your battles, write your book, build your business, or fulfill your vision. That task belongs to you. That power lies in your hands. Use your 24 hours in the right way, and the world itself will open its doors before you.